Thank you again for joining us at the Grim and Bloody Theater. Tonight we're excited to have on Robert Rhine, producer, actor, and writer behind Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. We're going to show you a trailer for the movie that is streaming on Amazon Prime, among other sites. And that's going to follow with a Q&A with the man behind the movie. And then while we're talking with him, you're going to be treated to some special features from the movie that I think you're going to enjoy. So sit back and relax, and thanks for tuning in.
Have you ever witnessed an exorcism? I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Only to work together, the entity will show itself again. But where? I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to kill everybody on this plane. You've lost your faith. Oh, God is the everlasting light. I must warn you, Hercules. I'm a trained assassin with the Pharisee. You out of your freaking mind? No! No, that would be suicide. Danger.
Americans are always trouble. Big troublemakers.
How did you like your pea souffle?
Oh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna throw up.
Use the vomit bag.
I don't have one. Oh God. Oh my God.
Okay, fast.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that trailer for Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. We are pleased to have Robert Rhine, actor, producer, and writer for the movie. Thank you very much for spending your evening with us. That was probably one of the funniest horror comedies I've seen in quite some time. That was a real piece of work you put together with some major horror icons. That was kind of like an all-star cast that I enjoyed watching again.
I take that to heart, man. That means a lot. And I think right now we all need to laugh and kind of have a nice distraction. So I think Exorcism at 60,000 Feet hopefully will do that for people. Because it's hard to think about anything else while you're watching that movie. It kind of focuses you.
You know, the funny thing is, when I first started watching it, my immediate vision was of a 1970s, it's 1972, I believe it was. There's a TV horror film which is called The Horror at 37,000 Feet. Yeah. And they're trying to take it, seriously. It's about a piece of stone from Stonehenge that's being carted on this airline that's possessed by spirits and so forth. And the only thing battling these spirits was Chuck Connors, Buddy Ebsen, William Shatner, and they're trying to be serious. And I'm looking at William Shatner as a defrocked priest. How can you be serious with that? Tell me, Robert, did you have any kind of memory or thought, an homage or tribute in some small part to that film when you were doing Exorcism at 60,000 Feet? Come on, be honest now.
No, I'm going to tell you that didn't come into my mind at all. But let me tell you something about doing a comedy versus a horror. There was a moment I thought this could be a horror movie, but where do you put the bodies when they start piling up? and not have people react to it. And it started getting so crazy that I'm like, this isn't going to happen. I didn't think of that movie. However, two of my favorite movies are The Exorcist and Airplane. But I didn't want to do a parody film of The Exorcist and follow, you know, Reagan and all the steps and all the people. I didn't want to do that. And I also didn't want to do airplane style humor. Although Exorcism at 60,000 Feet is a crazy movie, there aren't like co-pilots that inflate. You know, there's a certain grounding. Now, people die in really sick and strange ways, but it's a little more, I don't know. I take a step down from it because I still wanted it to kind of be scary. So, but it's a comedy. That's the truth. But I knew about that movie, but that movie didn't come to mind. However, the Twilight Zone with William Shatner, we do spoof that moment because you kind of have to. You have to do that,
right.
You know.
Well, see, I was looking at because one of the plot elements in that original film was they have to elevate the you know, the plane. They came up with an idea that bringing the plane up to meet it's like meet the sun or something like this that'll disperse the spirits. You in your film, you kind of do the same thing. You know, which is
wasn't the reason that I swear to you that never came to my mind. What I was thinking of is how do you kill this devil? And it was like, well, if you take it far enough from the center of the earth, that it would freeze because, you know, the devil is hot and everything. And it's of course
crazy idea.
Ridiculous. And some of my favorite comments are pilots who comment, you know, planes don't go to 60,000 feet, so this couldn't happen. I'm like, well, that's the gag. They're trying to get Lance Henriksen, who, you know, this is the last flight to Vietnam of this 737. I've also gotten comments, pilots are all over you. Anything wrong, they'll write you about this and that. But it's on the last flight, and it's a really crappy airplane. And the reason for that is when you're doing a low-budget movie, I'm thinking of, I don't want to go to these Hollywood, you know, Air Hollywood, which they charge you, you know, $5,000 a day for their airplane set. I wanted a really crappy airplane. So that's how it became the 737, because I could afford it. And then the story was built around this plane that's really crappy, and that Lance Henriksen, who's playing Captain Howdy, tribute to
Hello, Captain Howdy.
Hey, Captain Howdy.
And he is kind of this alcoholic pilot, and he's on the last flight of this plane with these stewardess and steward who have been working together for like 25 years and kind of hate each other. And that's by Ling and Matthew Moy. So that's how they came into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then one of the funny, you have Adrienne Barbeau and that dog,
Yeah, so there's, you know, the people that have, what do you call it, comfort animals, or what do they call them?
Service
pets. So she comes on the plane, and her service pet is her dog that is dead, that she's stuffed. But the whole idea of this movie is it's all the crazy people that we've all flown with. And if you look carefully, they're sitting kind of opposite people. So there's a Tibetan monk sitting next to Johnny Roastbeef, who's from Goodfellas and all these movies. And he's a gambler on his way to a poker game in Vietnam. So, you know, everybody's kind of opposites. You know, we have a huge guy. You remember, you know, you saw Luca Pennazzato? Mm-hmm. I don't know, it's Italian. This is the biggest human being I've ever seen in my life. He is the muscles on this guy. He's a champion, you know, bodybuilder. And then you
have to straddle him. You have to straddle him in one seat.
I had to. Well, you know, there's that thing where you're on an airplane. We all know this, and your seat passenger's asleep, and you got to go to the bathroom really bad, so you got to get past him. But this guy's huge, so you know, it was fun. Look, I got to tell you that this was a dream project for me to work with those actors. I'm a character actor, and I've been in a lot of films. I've been killed in 24 movies and la-di-da. But to work in scenes right along Lance Henriksen and Bai Ling and Matthew Moy, you know, being these, and Kevin J. O'Connor from The Mummy. I mean, these are, and you're in the scene and you're working, but you're watching them. It's a very strange experience going, oh my God, these guys are really great. What the hell am I doing in the scene with them? Because they're really good. It was just a great experience, you know. It was kind of like the opposite of social distancing. We could have never made that movie now because we were on an airplane fuselage set for 2 weeks. And one of the things is when you have like Adrienne Barbeau or Kelli Maroney, and they've starred in a lot of movies, now they have to be extras for 2 weeks because they do their lines, but then they can't move because they have to be in the background. So it won't match. So we had a lot of actors. I was sweating bullets that they were going to run on me, you know.
Yep. No, seriously, Robert, the cast was incredible.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Adrienne Barbeau, Kelli Maroney, yourself, Robert, you know, Scott Lance and Kevin O.J. Connor. It was, you know, a gamble of all these wonderful actors and actresses.
Bill Moseley.
And people who are less known actors who are in the background, you know, being the passengers.
Well, it was a kind of a, you know, getting to these people. A lot of people like, how the hell did you get Lance Henriksen and things like this? Well, you know, I ran Girls and Corpses magazine, my newsstand magazine, for 20 years. And in developing this, as Joe knows from being at events with me, you meet all these people and they're with you. And, you know, Sid Haig was another one of my best friends. And Sid actually was up for the pilot before Lance Henriksen. And it's kind of a long story why he wound up not doing it, but he also wasn't very healthy at that time. But Bill Moseley's in my film, Cynthia. I don't know if you guys know my film, Cynthia. It was Scout Taylor Compton, Bill, and it's another completely crazy movie. But those guys, I didn't just, you know, call an agent. I knew these guys for 2 decades of hanging out with them. So it makes a huge difference when you can call people up directly. And then some parts were very hard to cast. You know, you try to get people. I mean, it's a juggling act with actors, trying to get their schedules and money and all this kind of thing. But we did it. It was a SAG ultra low budget, I'm proud to say. And it was, you know, a crazy experience, you know, but good.
I wanted to give you a virtual high five for the opening sequence.
We do this here?
Boom.
Did it.
There we go.
I thought the opening sequence with the priest was it was such an attention grabber because it starts off as your standard exorcism, right? He's going up there, he's going to take care of business. But the way you kind of introduce the credits and how the priest, his behavior, you basically set a tone that, yeah, this is going to be about exorcism, but it's not your standard fare. You're going to be watching something that you probably haven't seen before. So after that sequence, I'm like, well, I don't know what's going to happen next. I thought I knew what I was going to get into. I thought I was going to watch Exorcism at 60,000 feet, right, with some comedy. This is probably going to go somewhere else. And I was pleasantly surprised. You know, from that moment on, I was pretty much locked into the movie. I didn't do anything else until it was finished. I couldn't. Like you said, you know, you're really not thinking of anything else the minute you see these characters. I mean, they're so crazy. As you said, they're representing every single genre. And yeah, I thought they all mixed well. I mean, the cast seemed very, very close-knit. You know, they all seemed very comfortable with each other. So that came off on screen very well. So kudos to you. You put a really nice cast, but I thought the story also had a nice pace to it. And you know, it had just enough horror that between the comedic bits, you get a little scares in between. So yeah, I thought it was well done. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I think, you know, you want to make movies that you want to see.
Right.
And the scene you mentioned in the beginning was very calculated because you feel like you're coming into a horror film. And it's very dramatic. And we do set some important story points up. But there's a moment, I don't want to completely give it away, where we turn and you start going, you know, because either when you make a horror movie, either the audience, and it's a real horror movie, either it's not working and they start laughing kind of at you, or you can control it. And we were trying to be like, what the hell are we supposed to laugh at this? And that was what we were exactly trying to do because it's crazy. And then when the music, and of course we got Richard Band. I mean, come on, reanimated guy, right? Unbelievable. he loved working on it, and you know, it's a dream, you know, to get Richard Band to do this. And you know, as soon as the music starts up, and by the way, that's my hearse in the movie. Joe will know that.
Yes,
Your
it
hearse.
is.
What?
I have a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor. It's like the most collectible hearse you can have. I got it in a junkyard, worked on it for 2.5 years with people who kind of know what they're doing. And it's been in a lot of stuff. It was in Avril Lavigne's music video, I Fell in Love with the Devil. She's driving it. It was in Suburbicon with George Clooney's movie.
Hey.
And now I have another vintage car that will be in movies, but it's not a good car to have right now. And that's because it's a 1957 Ford LAPD Cruiser. And I just can't be driving that around LA right now, especially
not
because, not to get too political, but the era of that car is not a good era for communities, let's say. It was a tough time. So I don't want to be driving that around LA. But let me tell you, that car is gorgeous. Jay Leno wanted that car, and I beat him to get it. I didn't literally beat him, but I wanted the car. So you'll see that around at some point. But the hearses, it would have been parked at Monsterpalooza in front for like 7 years.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Because every year when I'd go to Monsterpalooza, I could always tell, oh, there's Robert's, caddy.
I can say that Joe, I've known Joe for 20 years, and he looks exactly the same when I met him.
Yeah.
Just as old in his 20s.
Yeah.
He looks exactly. He's never changed. This is
I'll tell you, I've known Joe for almost 30 years, and I agree with you. He hasn't changed at all. I think he still had the same beard when I first met him.
Yeah, I think so too. And usually you say people haven't changed when they're so youthful. He's always looked like the same, which is good. I like it. But
yeah, this is the whole fun thing about Robert, because I remember one year at Monsterpalooza, there was like the dummy dead bodies in the Cadillac, and then he'd have all these pretty women standing by the Cadillac, and going like, girls and corpses, here it is. Because that's how I met Robert, was like through the conventions, with his booth of his magazine. And then when I saw the movie just a couple nights ago, I was like going like, good for Robert. Because I saw the Girls and Corpses film, and I kind of went like, fantastic.
Well, what happened is that the publishing died. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I wanted to decide what to do, and I wanted to do it before all my money was gone from the magazine. So that's when we started the label. And I started executive producing films with Ted Chalmers at Tomcat. And we put out a bunch of films. I acted in a lot of them. And then finally I decided to do my own films, and that's when I did Cynthia. And Cynthia was something I sole wrote and produced. I mean, I really put my ass on the line and financed. But if you haven't seen that out there, folks, Cynthia, it'll surprise you too. Scout Taylor Compton from both Rob Zombie Halloween movies is in it. But I don't know, man. It's been a crazy world with the magazine, and like you said, we have stories, man. We go back, and I always had Sid or Bill Moseley at my booths, so it's been great. We're gonna miss all that.
Yeah.
Horror-Hound was canceled, and this film was one of the finalists for Best Picture at Horror-Hound, and then they canceled it. And I waited my whole career, all the film festivals, to get the Saturday 8 p.m. slot, and I got it. And then they canceled the festival.
Wow.
So kind of a bummer. But I want to just say to you guys that I really appreciate you supporting the film and saying what you do, because as filmmakers, and to those out watching this, a film is your baby. Right. You put everything into it. You work on it for years, and then you put it out there, and it's a very tricky thing. And I don't know what it is with, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but man, people like, you murdered their mother. I mean, it's unbelievable. And all this movie is, it's a fun 94-minute distraction to enjoy yourself, reminiscent of the 70s. The movie's like Airport 70, it's kind of reminiscent of those movies. And the poster, by the way, is Airport 75 with the pictures of all the police at the bottom. So it's just really nice to hear good things about it, because we're not trying to, we're not trying to hurt you. We just made a movie and it's fun, and everybody's entitled to opinions. So I just
one of those movies where
it.
you can't take yourself seriously when you watch it. You sit back, you make yourself some popcorn, you get a soda, and you just have to laugh. Not every movie has to come with 60 minutes of critiquing and, well, I didn't like this scene, you should have done it with this one. Or it's the full experience from beginning to end. Sometimes you sit back, you enjoy it. You just let it wash over you. You have fun as much as you can.
Like
see
COVID,
actors.
like COVID, it just goes right over you and it's gone, and you're fine.
Yeah. Oh no, Robert, I do have to commend you on the gin and tonic role. She was hilarious, and when she's having the conversation with her father, Romero, going like, hey, I'm going to Vietnam and I won't give it away, but it was just hilarious. Just like, I need a drink.
She's going to love this. She does our social media. She does our Instagram. I've known Gin and Tonic for many years, and I've worked with her in movies. She was in Predator World with Ben and all these crazy movies. But that was one of those roles that right up to the end, we were still trying to get some big name actress, and every agent, a lot of them, you can't get it to any of the talent anyhow. So we were trying, everybody. And then I thought Jim would be great from the beginning. And I had a meeting with her and Robert Miano, and she came and read at my house. And they had a girl who was like very busty and attractive, but she didn't have what Jin has. And that's Jin. Jin is just like this. She's that person on the airplane. You just want to sit there and open your book or put in your headphones, and she just wants to talk. She just wants to, this is exciting for her. And she just doesn't shut up. And I think Miano, naturally at one point, it wasn't in the script, she said, will you just shut the fuck up? Because she's just going on. When we first did the first cut of the movie, Chad Ferrin, great director. I love Chad. And he's a beast. He never sleeps. He kills the crew because, he's one of those guys, you give him a cigarette and Dr. Pepper, and he'll go for 38 hours straight. So,
wow.
But he would always let people, and I love this for directors, let the actor continue where the normal cut is. Because what happens, and also I know this is an actor from acting class, you always have an actor and they prepare their scenes and they go up and they do their scene and they're acting. And then right after the scene, they started being a person. And you go, well, that's interesting because they're just normal. I mean, that's great. So that after bit is great. And that's why, Jen is so great. But she gave me when you guys watch the movie out there, she had this speech that's my favorite speech in the movie. And I was sitting there listening going, oh my God, she's just amazing. So I don't know, it's fun to work with people that So I'm lucky that way.
I have to say that one of my favorite actors' roles in the film is with Matthew Moy, and he endures such stuff.
It's my cat opening the door back there.
Please, I thought it was a ghost.
It's the cat. It's coming to get you, cat.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I say Matthew. You put him through such, there's a couple of scenes in there, and I won't give it away, but you put him through some hell, to do it. But I like when we had a conversation previously off recording about where you described Matthew as the ultimate, the take one for the team kind of actor.
Yeah.
And
he
so
wanted to
talk
do those
about
things.
him, what he brings to it.
I like working with nice people. It's very important to me to work with people who aren't divas. And I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to get back to your question, but I worked for the studios for a decade. For Columbia, TriStar, and Universal Studios, I was senior unit publicist. And I went all around the world promoting these huge movies, which is why I can do marketing and all this kind of stuff. But I saw people that were divas and difficult, and I just won't work with. I don't care who they are. And Matthew is one of those guys that he's a team player. He's up for anything. And the crazier the scene, he's like, oh yeah, I always wanted to do that. He gets very excited. He was just great. And him and Ling, you know, he wanted to do it because Bai Ling's in it, and the two of them. And I'll tell you, Bai Ling's a character, and Joy will tell you this. Bai Ling is a brilliant actress, but you're really going to saddle up to a Bronco because she is, you know, some of these, the actors have so much on board, and she does. It gets on screen. But the two of them together, a lot of people said, I think that they're a movie unto themselves because there was so much more that was shot with them that developed their relationship. And when you've worked with the same person for 20 years, and Bai Ling is very much like, well, you pick that up. I'm not going to pick it up. You pick. So she treats him like crap. And, you know, so they have this hate relationship. Can you imagine
the vegan scene.
No.
Well, we all relate to that, right? Moly.
You know, we all are on the flight. You know, I'm always wondering, you know, you get the meal and the person goes, oh, where's my, you know, and they've got some special meal. Like, how the hell did they get the filet mignon? You know, they asked for the special one. Well, there's vegan and vegetarian and gluten-free. And, you know, Sally is really great. That's Silvia Spross, another great actress. And she's married to Robert Miano in real life. So they're great. Wow. And her husband was played by Kyle Jones. Kyle Jones is one of the two leads in Cynthia. And he looks just exactly like Matt Damon. I mean, it's almost like you get another, and we play with that in the movie. But
yes, you do.
And then the girl, there's a sexy girl on the airplane. And that's Stefanie Peti is the actress. We had set up a casting session here in Hollywood. And we had girls come in to read for that. And when you have a casting session, they're doing other castings at the same time, the commercials or whatever. And I walk out and I see this girl and I go, hi, what are you here for? She says, oh, I'm here for doing a thing in Spain. It's a reality show. And I'm like, well, would you want to read for this? And okay. So she came in and she just blew us away. And, you know, she's that, you got to have the sexy hot girl and you got to have the Mile High scene and you got to have, you know, but some of these people, as I said, I worked with Kyle before and I worked with Johnny Roastbeef before. And if you guys out there have seen Goodfellas, he's the scene in the bar where he's one of the De Niro's team and he buys the Cadillac for his wife, the pink Cadillac. And De Niro says, take it back. And he goes, but yeah, it's just for, you know, take it back. That's Johnny Roastbeef. That is him.
Yes.
Yes. Now, Johnny Roastbeef is from New York, and his nickname became Roastbeef because he ran a deli in New York. So that's where he got Roastbeef. So they named him that, and then in the movie. And then he was in a movie, Honeymoon in Vegas, and he played Johnny Sandwich. And in that movie, he's always eating a sandwich. You know, they call him Johnny Sandwich. When he's talking to the boss, he's like, are you eating again? Johnny Sandwich. But in one of those little videos, I don't know if I sent it to you yet, but Roastbeef talks about Joe Pesci in a very funny story. But he works at a place called, you know, Rayo's restaurant in Hollywood. There's one in New York. But if you go to Rayo's in Hollywood, when COVID, whoever's left alive, go to Rayo's restaurant because he's the maitre d', and he'll bust your balls the whole fucking time you're there. You know. He's like, hey, yo, get your own fucking table. What are you asking me for? Yeah, you can see that. I mean, he's just, oh my God. So, but I did a movie with him years ago, a pilot called Vinny and Angela's Beauty Salon and Funeral Parlor. And he's in that. And he's just a brilliant actor. So each of these people were cherry picked. A lot of the casting was done because I knew these, you know, Billy Moseley. I mean, good Lord. You know, and how many of you guys have seen Cynthia?
I've ever seen on film,
have any of you seen Cynthia?
Not yet.
Seen Cynthia?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right. Well, just to tell you, Bill Moseley, for you who don't know him, The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, Three from Hell, Chainsaw Massacre 2, all this kind of stuff. He plays a part in Cynthia that he said is the craziest part he's ever played. And that's saying something.
That is saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've seen those movies you just mentioned.
This guy, Bill Moseley,
yeah,
all the stuff that he has done, for him to say that this is the craziest part, now I have to see it. I will be seeing this tomorrow.
And Sid Haig plays a role that he's never played before, and he plays a cop. And he won a big award at the LA, one of the big film festivals in LA. I'll remember it. But he won Best Supporting Actor and won the award. He held it up and said, you know, I've been in this business for 50 years. And I played every psycho killer, murderer, wife beater, asshole you can imagine. I play one cop. And the truth is, he would have been great as remember, what was the show? The guy with the lollipop. You'll remember.
Kojak.
Kojak. He would have been a great Kojak. He would have been great.
He would have.
Yeah. Later, though, younger, he was really dark-haired and played bad guys forever,
If I can get back to Exorcism at 60,000 feet.
Yes, please.
Robert, you had some special clips that you wanted to share with our Death Parade theater audience. Cool.
Yes.
So did you want to go ahead and just pick one, and then you can give a brief introduction, and we'll show it to them.
Okay. So the first one we're going to do is Lance Henriksen from Aliens and Kevin J. O'Connor, The Mummy, behind the scenes, chatting on set. You see them working a little bit, but this will just give you a vibe of how crazy this movie is.
Excellent.
And roll tape.
How you doing? I'm Lance Henriksen. I'm playing the captain. Howdy. I fly this plane with my head turned all the way around. And it gets against everything that we hate about flying. It has it all in it, in a very sarcastic way. This is the zaniest comedy I've ever been involved in. I mean, it's really like Actors Studio decided we're going to make a movie, and everybody gave their all. Was that convincing?
Yes.
I was so happy when he was going to do this.
Oh yeah. One of the reasons I did this. Absolutely.
The crazy moment where they said, "Who would you like for your co-pilot, Buzz?" And I said, "There's only one guy," and I told him
That's
Kevin
me.
J. O'Connor, man, that's him. There's a chemistry that seems to happen every time we're in each other's company.
Yes. This is under the umbrella of some of my wacky characters in The Mummy and Deep Rising, and Igor and Van Helsing.
And I come in and he comes in with all this energy, and it fit right into where it belonged.
Yeah, that was great.
I'll do the other ones.
Yeah. This
Okay.
should be fun. This will be real fun.
You ready?
In the editing room.
Absolute pro at this. How smooth is this? Come on.
Dude, I've been on camera doing stuff forever. I mean, it's like crazy. When I used to go on the road and do publicity for the studios, I would always do the news because the celebrities didn't want to do it. So you'd have to go on the news and do that. Okay. All right.
So what's the
And
next
now
clip you
coming up
got, Robert?
next-
Yeah.
Coming up next, by Ling from The Crow, behind the scenes with some of the crazy things she does in Exorcism at 60,000 feet. Roll camera.
We're so lucky to have her. I can't even tell you. Wait till you see this movie. She does things I can't even. It's insane.
It's big eyeball fish lady and unshaved. Wants some special vegetarian dish.
And he's the sweetest producer I've ever seen and great actor.
It's so magical working with Ling. She's so hilarious. She unravels this pill of brilliance.
Brace yourself! Brace yourself! We're landing! Thank you for Fly Vehicle Airways. Thank you.
She is so funny. I mean, the shit that comes out of her mouth, unbelievable.
She's like threatened by the pussy. And I'm just like, Americans are always trouble. Big trouble makers. Make America grab them by the pussy.
So you never know what is going to come out of her mouth.
I like that they take challenge.
So you pleasure me long time.
My pleasure. I love you long time.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Next up, Matthew Moy from Two Broke Girls. He is amazing in this film, and we're going to take a quick look at him behind the scenes. Now.
Everybody aboard the plane. Robert, or maybe the director, had seen me on Two Broke Girls, but anyway, they thought I'd be a fit for the part of Thang. And I read it and I loved it. What really sold me was I get puked on in the middle.
We need puke it back fast!
So I was like, yes, I'm doing it.
I think I got a little on me.
And it's just the situation that we're in. It's just so disturbing and wacky, and all this crazy stuff happens. And it's like, where are you? What happened? I don't know. Blah. But I can't wait for you guys to see the film. It's a load of fun.
Let's get the out of here.
I had enough of this. Should we go?
Yeah, let's go. Next up, okay, this is very exciting. We have Adrienne Barbeau from The Fog and Escape from New York on the set of Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. Watch her take on why she wanted to be in this movie.
Enjoy, guys.
It's Airport meets The Exorcist.
Where's the friendly skies when you need them?
Hi, I'm Adrienne Barbeau, and I play Mrs. Montague. I received the script from my agency. They told me that it was being produced by Robert Rhine. He had done another film with a friend of mine, Bill Moseley.
I will never fly economy again.
So I immediately called Bill and I said, what was your experience? What do you think? And he said, oh, I'd work for him anytime. He's a real straight shooter and a great guy. And then I read the script and I was on board. I thought it was one of the funniest scripts I'd read in a long time. Well, I am an actor who likes to say the words on the page. You know, I started on stage. I have mixed feelings about doing a lot of ad-libbing. When it works, it's great. I wait to see the final product, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very funny and very successful.
Next up, who else have I got? Oh, Robert Miano is really the star of the film. He plays the priest. He was in Donnie Brasco. Remember Sonny Red? He was this really mean, just the look of this guy. And he actually is a friend of Pacino's. This is another story. But he's also in, Party, and what was the one in New Orleans? I don't know. You'll remember it if you remember it. But he's been in 100 different projects. Robert Miano on the set of Exorcism at 60,000 Feet.
Robert Miano's a cool cat. I'd like to hang out with him and just have a cigar, a glass of whiskey, talk about acting.
Matthew Moy was a wonderful, wonderful comedic actor and a wonderful human being. It's the first time I got up on the cross. It was Chad's idea. It wasn't originally in the script, and Chad came up with that. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's a beautiful visual. My wife, she's in the film. She's playing Sally.
I met Robert in an acting class, and after the class he asked me out for drinks, and I thought everybody was going for drinks, so I said, okay, sure, not knowing that he took me to a strip club. I don't know if I should say that.
So far, so good.
On film, but yeah, we went to Crazy Girls. And I think Crazy Girls is not there anymore. I think they renovated and moved, so we can't even go back for like an anniversary or so.
Robert Miano is phenomenal. I'm a big fan of him because I mean from Donnie Brasco.
Rabbi on the set. Rabbi on the set. Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Robert Rhine, the producer, is also playing a role. He's very funny, plays a rabbi. They are so perfect for each and every role. You know, I can't wait to see them when they make them as dolls. You know, the priest, the rabbi, the flight attendants. I'm so blessed to be working with these kind of people.
Coming up next, we have a double, Luca Pennazzato, with Silvia Spross. Both of them behind the scenes of Exorcism at 60,000 Feet.
My name is Silvia Spross, and my character name is Sally. I can see you now. It's a comedy. It's a horror comedy.
This is a last-minute seat. I don't care. I'm vegan. I'm a lacto-ovo-vegetarian. Holy shit!
I get so sick that in the end, I think I threw up all my insides and I just died.
Hi, I'm Luca Pennazzato. I'm playing Flex. All cast is great. I mean, there's so many different characters, and everyone is perfect. I mean, they match perfectly the character. It's a very good experience for me. It's my first feature film. I've done only commercial so far, and I'm very grateful to be part of this incredible crew. I think it's going to be a very, very funny comedy horror movie.
Okay, you'll remember this guy, Johnny Williams, who is in Honeymoon in Vegas and also in Goodfellas. He's a big guy, and he was in the Green Book. Johnny Williams behind the scenes.
You want to do it the way it's written, or you want me to go crazy? You'll never catch up with me. Believe me. If I go crazy. I always
How
said
many times you died in movies?
Oh, many times. They just don't like fat guys. That's what it is. Even in Ray Donovan, I did an episode of Ray Donovan. I loved that show. I wanted to come back. They killed me. I'm on the toilet bowl. Okay. I died myself.
He's good.
Not even any help. Just taking a crap.
Have you ever frozen to death in a movie?
No.
Is it something you've always wanted to do?
No.
And you don't want to do it now? No.
You always wanted to choke a producer on the set.
Good night, everybody. I love this girl. This is Gin and Tonic.
Hey.
She plays a very chatty passenger who you want to kill, who sits next to you on the plane. At Exorcism
Murder at 60,000 feet.
You want to murder her. And go.
I'm Gin and Tonic, and I play Veronica, a very peppy stripper, or Trescadarian, as she likes to call it.
You know, usually the thing works. Told me when my sister was gonna die.
Kind of a throwback to, like Airplane, mixed with, your standard scary movie like Poltergeist. We're all laughing a lot on set, so hopefully the audience laughs too. I mean, it does definitely, as it goes on, get freakier and freakier. We'll see what happens to little old Veronica from Sandusky, Ohio.
Okay, this is a good one. So there are two nuns on the plane, and they're very pious nuns. But when they become infected by this possessed spirit, they kind of go to the other side, the sinful side of their soul. On set, you will see we're talking about this scene that they're about to do. So let's watch that now.
Did I hit you in my payas, by the way?
No.
We're gonna do a ninja payas movie. How are you working on your characters? Because you have a very special scene coming up there. We're waiting with bated breath. I don't want to say much about it, but we're gonna clear the set.
We've already done something like that together.
In personal life?
Not in personal life, but in another film.
Yeah.
You live together?
We do.
You,
We work together and we live
but
together.
you're not a couple.
No. And I read the script and I was like, this is insane. This is ridiculous and
Super
hilarious. So especially the interaction between Thang and Amanda, like all that is so funny.
An alien came to Earth and said, what is this movie?
I would go like this.
That's gonna be the trailer for the movie.
And now that we're back, let me tell you how they cast on this film. A friend of mine said, look, I got two girls I think will do this special scene in the movie. And they're at the screening tonight for Cynthia. Would you like to meet them? And I said, sure. So these two girls come over, very nice. I said, you want to be in the movie? They said, yes. I said, well, have you ever done anything like this before? I'm trying to be not tell you what the scene is. Have you ever done anything like this before? And they went, yeah, we're comfortable. I said, okay, make out. And they went, what do you mean? I said, well, you're going to be on set with all these people. Let me see how it's going to look. So here we are in the lobby at this movie.
Show me the goods.
The two girls are just making out and went, you're hired. That's how they got hired. And it turns out they're very funny and they do comedy and all sorts of stuff.
Awesome.
I have one other really important person. I got to introduce this because this is freaking awesome. One person you don't know about is a gentleman by the name of Brad Server. He is the grandson of Curly of the Three Stooges.
No way.
I have given him his first two roles in motion pictures. The first was in Cynthia. He played a delivery man and does a kind of a funny backflip bit. But he has a lot more in Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. And we're just very excited to have him because he has a fan base from his grandfather. I mean, how amazing is to be Curly's grandson? And he's very funny.
Crazy.
So he's in the movie too. So we have a lot of that kind of stuff. I may have been missing someone, but, oh, and me, you can watch, hey, watch me as the rabbi. I'm the rabbi. In the movie, Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. Shalom. Watch.
Hey, it's Corpsey. We're on the set of a movie that I'm producing and I wrote, and
He's basically doing everything.
Robert and I have known each other for a long time, and he called me one day and he told me he had this idea for a film.
This man is a terrorist.
Yes.
He's a terrorist. Do not listen to the word he says.
Robert Rhine, I was talking about the beautiful producer He's funny, he's humble, and that's what I like to work with.
And he's the sweetest producer I've ever seen and great actor.
What is it like to work with me?
It is an oasis in the desert of
horribleness. Okay. I don't even know what to say. Oh, look at me. Oh, my alma mater. It smells a little like butt. Did you use it at the show?
No, we did not. That is good.
The butt smell comes with it?
Yeah, that butt smell comes with it.
Seriously, that's a very, very nice gift. Thank you for doing that.
You always wanted to choke a producer on the set.
Good night, everybody.
The rabbi who has the same-sex kiss, very passionate, kind of hot, actually.
See, I'm wondering from your perspective. It was my first man kiss, and the thing is, he wouldn't let me go, so I got I got lunch, I got whatever he had. I enjoyed the same meal. I remember there was some garlic involved. And by the way, this is getting to something really important for your filmmakers. The most important thing, you're going to think I'm going to say food, but specifically bacon. Bacon is what you need to get a movie made, and I'll tell you how. Every morning, you normally would have well, not anymore because of COVID, no one's going to be able to eat. We don't know how that's going to work out. But normally you have your buffet, and you might have some bacon for breakfast. I'd always have an additional tray of bacon that I would have on set as a producer. And I'm telling you, I could work these guys to death. That tray of bacon. Remember that. Fun fact. Bacon is how you make low-budget movies. It's absolutely true. And all day they'd come up and go, thank you for the bacon. God bless you. I'm just so happy. Is there bacon tomorrow? Is there bacon on the set tomorrow? Because it was crisp. It was good.
There you go.
Yeah. Any other questions about my life and
No, it was, as I was gonna say, the whole entire cast. Again, I want to commend everyone who was in that, especially I did enjoy Bill Moseley, because at first I was going wait a minute, oh yeah, Bill's got that beard like me now. I forgot, but he was really good in his role in the film, and and I just have to ask, will there be a sequel? That is the most inquiring mind.
I love that question, and I'll tell you, we already have the idea of what it would be. But right now, making movies is great, and I'm really passionate about it, and it's a great experience, but I'm financing these. So there's this thing called money, and I'm waiting for some of it to come back because you put all this money out. And it's a very, I don't know, people are all, I just want to get my movie made. Well, it's not just getting your movie made. I'm still working on Exorcism. We're still promoting it and everything and trying to make money on it. This is a very mixed time because people are home.
Yeah. And
they were watching a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if it would have done better if it was non-COVID time. I have no idea.
But you are thinking, you have an idea in the back of your head.
Absolutely. It's a fabulous idea. I know it would be great. And also, I don't want to say who survives because that's part of the wonder of the Exorcism movie. But there are important people that, we could continue to explore their characters. Sure. And the answer is yes. So if you're out there and you're looking to invest, Girls and Corpses, we're on the move, man.
Potential investors, how do they contact you?
Call Joe Flynn. Take him to lunch.
Contract.
Joe needs lunch.
309.
The first thing to do if you want to invest is get Joe drunk, have a good time. I don't know, maybe he's sober. Maybe that's not a good idea.
Hey, man.
And then, you can get me, you can go to girlsandcorpses.com. There's ways to contact me through there. Now, just so you know, I have a movie in post right now, and it's hopefully be done to pitch a can because we have it in the can, but it's called Escape from Area 51.
Oh.
Now, this movie was shot in December of last year, and it's very important because for you filmmakers out there in California, they have this AB5 law, and it's going to make it incredibly difficult for producers. It means that no one's a freelancer anymore. They're your employee. They're talking pensions, workers' comp, all those kinds of fun things. It brings your budget up about 30%. So I got to figure out what's going to be happening. I'm doing that with a partner who's in Arizona. So we were able to make that work. That's with Ted Chalmers. And actually a guy by the name of David Sterling, who I'm sure some of you guys know. So David's an interesting character too. Everybody's a character.
It's too bad. California keeps shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to filmmaking.
Well, no one's going to, I mean, it's crazy. And if you read the rules, the COVID rules on the set are impossible. You know, they're shifting people at different times and you got to take your breaks staggered. You know, there's no way to make a movie like that. You know, people showing up. You got to, you know, you're getting there, your call's 5 a.m. You got to get there now at 4 because it's going to take an hour to take your temperature and then you got to wait. I don't know, man. I think these are crazy times. I'm very happy to have a movie out that people can enjoy. And I really appreciate you guys digging the film because
absolutely
we put our heart and soul into that. And you stuck, you know, you think about a long flight, we kept joking, but we were on that plane for 2 weeks. That's a long freaking flight.
Yeah, it is.
And you know, and you have crafts, people are bringing food, you know, but we hadn't thought of that. Once you're sitting behind someone and you have Adrienne Barbeau and you're like, yeah, Ms. Barbeau, you can't leave the set. You have to just sit there. What are you talking about? You know, it was tricky. You know, I've done, you know, everything wrong. We had, you know, that, and then we had a lot of visual effects. We were shooting 10 pages a day, which is pretty healthy with visual effects. But Chad is the beast, and he's able to get it done. So, you know.
Well, I think it got done. I thought it came out very well. You should give yourself a pound of bag. I know it is difficult times right now. It's difficult times, but
fun.
It was a complete movie.
Fun.
It's good fun. That's what it is. It's good fun. You know, you sit back, you enjoy this thing. Have some laughs, right? Don't take yourself too serious, especially nowadays. So I recommend everybody go watch it. Now, where can they see it? If they're interested, where can they go watch it?
Well, it's streaming kind of like everywhere right now. It's on Amazon and iTunes and Google Plus and this. I mean, you name it, it's streaming. We're still trying to make a cable sale on it. Now, I'm very fortunate to have Shout Factory / Scream Factory distributing the movie. So they're a pretty classy outfit, man. I got to say, they are really making their move. And there's very few of these kind of companies left that are doing this. So making a film is one thing, getting distribution is another. And getting money from your distributor, whole new ballgame, man. That's where you get the bills, you know, that, you know, they go on it. Everything costs an additional $1,000. You know, they went to their car. It's another $1,000, and you know, it's crazy.
That's why you have the giant bottle of Bacardi underneath your desk, and you have the large Xanax bottle ready to pop when you need it.
I'm going to promote now.
Absolutely.
Look, it's backwards.
Oh,
how do we make it
Shiny.
flip it? Can we flip it?
Yeah, I love
This is Je ne claque feet. Exorcism 60,000 feet. So it's on this is a Blu-ray DVD combo. You get both. Did you flip it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Thank you for that.
Awesome. Front and center. Let's see that beauty.
Okay, there it is.
They're all there. Definitely that airport.
I love that throwback cover, though. Right?
And then on the back, you got all sorts of fun stuff. So this is out now. So you can get this through Shout Factory, and also Amazon is selling these, and we're doing very well on that. This is Cynthia, my movie Cynthia, also in reverse.
Creepy.
And it is, if you're thinking about having a child, this will stop it.
Uh-oh. What if you have 3 of them? What would you do?
You have 3 kids? But if you've had them already, this is about the obsession of women to have a baby at all costs. That's that. And I'm just going to throw this up just because you guys are off into weird stuff. This is me as Dracula in a woman's prison. I play Dracula. And you can get this.
Exactly. What is Dracula doing in a woman's prison? I got to find that out.
He's out for blood. Come on. Jeez.
Anyone ever done a movie called Dracula Sucks?
Yes.
They probably did.
With I want to say it's with Jamie Gillis, the longtime adult film star.
That would be Dracula Sucked.
Yes.
Now this is Gin and Tonic, who we talked about.
Right.
This is Victoria DeMar, and another Gin and Tonic. And I think we're all going to have a Gin and Tonic after this. But you guys are awesome. Oh, you know, the promotion of this is really, really fun and appreciated. And I hope everyone sees Exorcism at 60,000 feet. Just check your local streaming everywhere. You can see it. Oh, and it's also, I wanted to say, if you're looting, stop by Walmart or Target or Best Buy. So if you're looting, grab a copy. Is that like the worst promotion ever?
I'm absolutely with Anthony. I think this is a grand time and kind of a perfect viewing thing for this COVID, nightmare that we're in. 90 minutes of having some fun with old friends like Lance Henriksen and Adrienne Barbeau and so forth. And as you said, kind of a throwback to other films and genres and decades and so forth. It really is a fun time.
Yeah, I had a thrill watching Lance again on the screen. I haven't seen him, and I've he's taken admittedly he's taken a couple kind of lesser roles, as his career has gone on in films that are like, oh, Lance, you're killing me here, because Aliens is my absolute favorite movie. Seeing him in that, it's just I always go back to that movie, if I want a nice pick-me-up, right? And I was following Lance's career for the longest, and to see him in kind of a nice, prominent role again, on the screen, and he played that straightforward, but it looked like he had fun. It looked like he was just part of the group, right? He's just enjoying it. So it was good. I was happy to see Lance in that kind of setting again.
He is a pilot, by the way, in real life, and has never played a pilot.
Oh, jeez.
So this was something he wanted to do. And one last note is Kevin J. O'Connor. I'm hearing myself.
Yeah.
Am I in my head? Anyhow, Kevin J. O'Connor is a friend of Lance Henriksen. So that's how they wound up working together on the film.
Fantastic. Well, it's a fabulous film. Fun time, to be had by all.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for. Hopefully, money starts coming in for you, Robert, and we get a sequel with maybe some of the same actors back once again for another go around.
God bless you guys. I really appreciate it. It's good to see
all your
your faces.
Oh, you're so welcome, Robert. And hopefully we'll see eventually, once this whole COVID thing blows over, at a convention.
Maybe the COVID convention. We all
yeah, that could be it.
We all show up. All right, guys.
Well, I want to thank Robert Rhine for joining us tonight. It was been an absolute pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the special features that were part of this presentation. And once again, Robert, where can we find you on the interwebs?
Girls and Corpses. I'm backwards too. By the way, that is Donald Rump. And these are the Russian girls. Remember the famous Peti? And they're in a bomb shelter. And by the way, this is a real bomb shelter that was under my parents' house, which is now gone, but we shot in a bomb shelter. So there you go. That is the latest and last issue of Girls and Corpses. So go to girlsandcorpses.com, Shout Factory to buy the movie, or Amazon, and the movie streaming everywhere. So check it out, and if you like it, please leave a comment at Amazon or IMDb, and if you don't like it, don't leave a comment. Thank you for that.
All right, guys. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. I salute you.
Robert.